Matchday 36 in La Liga EA Sports brought us the game between Real Sociedad and Celta at the Reale Arena. La Real were coming into this game looking to bounce back from 5 games without a win, whilst Celta were looking to pick up back-to-back victories after impressively beating Sevilla at the weekend with 10 men for the entire second half. And they had the first chance of the game, Celta, just a couple of minutes in. Borja Iglesias was picked out superbly by Fer Lopez, but the man known as El Panda could only drag the shot wide of the back post. Celta were coming into this game knowing that a victory for them would see them temporarily move 5 points clear of Rayo Vallecano in their push to cement their place in Europe next season. Real Sociedad needed a win because if they managed to pick up all 3 points, they'd be just 1 point behind 8th place Rayo Vallecano, that Conference League place. We just saw there that it was an early shout for a penalty from Ian Muñoz, but nothing would be given. And from that corner, Igor Zubeldia would just head wide for Real Sociedad. Celta really looking lively in the first 10 minutes or so. Then Real Sociedad managed to grasp hold of possession and kept on pushing. Takekubo was staying in the starting 11 following Real Sociedad's heavy 4-0 defeat away to Atletico Madrid last time out. That shot from him, though, only into the hands of Vicente Huayta. Celta, as always, were looking dangerous in transition, especially. And Claudio Giraldez once again made a whole host of changes with regards to their last matchup. 7 changes from the win that beat the win against Sevilla. It was Oscar Mingueza who was one of the 4 players staying in the starting 11 who had the next chance, but his shot was a long way off target. Minutes later from a corner, Mikel Oyarzabal, who was almost staying in the team alongside Takekubo. He came very close here, almost finding the top corner with this header. La Real's 2 biggest attacking threats starting alongside one another. There was then a shout against the penalty from Carlos Dominguez for a handball, but nothing would be given because it came off the thigh first of Carlos Dominguez, therefore no penalty for La Real, despite the claims for it. Eventually, though, Celta would break the deadlock in the final minutes of the first half. A lovely ball into space from Mingueza to find Borja Iglesias, who then squirted across to Alfon González. His initial shot kept out by Alex Remiro, but the Celta winger was able to get to the second ball and put it away. A really good goal on the counter-attack for Celta. Really just their second clear chance of the game, but much more than La Real had produced at the other end. It's a brilliant reaction save initially from Alex Remiro, but ultimately it was well finished off by Alfon, who was onside, very well read, and a good weight of pass there from Borja Iglesias. Martin Zubimendi just missing out on clearing it off the line. Remiro even getting his fingertips to it at the second time of asking. Tough one that for La Real's number 1, the goalkeeper who has only kept 2 clean sheets fewer than Jan Oblak, who's got the record at the moment this season with 15 clean sheets. There was then a very tight-angled free kick for Real Sociedad at the start of the second half that was just kept out by Mihailo Ristic, who did well Felt a bit dazed after that one because the cross was played in at high speed. Celta was still able to find some gaps on the counter charge. Carreira, who was starting as a left wing back on the day, he was picked out into space and tried to shift the ball onto his preferred right foot, but it was well blocked despite having a couple of teammates inside the penalty area. Celta kept on pushing in their attempt to double their lead, and it was Fer Lopez after some good combination play with Alfon who had the chance, but he skied the ball over the crossbar. It seemed overall over the 90 minutes that La Real needed to do a lot to create chances, whilst Celta, with not too much, were able to cause trouble for the home side. A nervy moment here at the back as Carreira was trying to cover off Take Kubo, but he just did enough. In the second half, it's fair to say, though, that Pablo Marin was the main danger threat for Real Sociedad, making some good runs from midfield, getting in and around the penalty area. Here it was Hamadi Traore playing the ball in from the right, and the shot just going underneath the arm of Vicente Guaita, almost rolling into the back of the net, but the Celta keeper was able to respond. First two changes saw Aramburu and Barnechea come on for the injured Hamadi Traore and Sergio Gomez. First yellow card of the match, though, was shown here to Ayen Muñoz just about on the hour mark. It's a yellow card that means through suspension Ayen Muñoz will not be able to play La Real's next game, their final home match of the season, here against Girona at the weekend. It was Mikel Oyarzábal's turn next to almost score the equaliser. A good ball in from the left-hand side, and Ayen Muñoz's weaker right foot was met at the back post by Oyarzábal, whose header, he tried to lob it over Guaita, but it actually just came off the crossbar. Not a bad delivery at all, and just inches away. Zubimendi there at the back post as well to hit it, but it was well blocked by some good defensive cover from Ristic. Pablo Duran was then brought on by Celta, the first change of the evening for the visitors. He replaced Fer Lopez. Pablo Duran actually scored both goals in this reverse fixture this season when Celta won 2-0 at home against La Real. Celta looking to do the double over Real Sociedad for the first time since the 2015-2016 season. And again, it was Pablo Marin making that run into the box, this time though not hitting the target, and Imanol Alguacil was left very frustrated on the sidelines. It was very visible that his Real Sociedad legacy may be coming to an end on a bit of a whimper. Pablo Marin would step up once again, this time getting to a second ball and just heading over Vicente Guaita, but the Celta keeper was able to get back in time and get his fingertips to the ball to help it over the bar. Would have been an awkward goal to concede, but again, as we say, Pablo Marin was the man making the runs, causing havoc in midfield. And here again, almost scoring the equaliser. It was then a triple change from Celta that saw Joel come on, as well as Iker Losada and William Svedberg. For La Real, it was Sucic and Javi Lopez. 5 changes coming all at once. Joel Lago brought on to replace Ristic, specifically to bring on more of an out-and-out centre-half as Celta looked to close out the game. Zubeldia was up next, coming close from a corner. Throughout the game, La Real would muster up just about 40 shots, and yet only 5 of them would go on target. Celta holding on defensively. was another solid block in the penalty area here in the final minutes, and there was even a claim for a penalty for handball against Fran Beltran, and it was checked as well by VAR, but it was deemed not enough because it also came off the chest of the Celta captain. Therefore the referee would not be giving a spot kick in the final minutes of the game for the Churiurdin. Claudio Giraldez watching on as his side were closing in on a win on his 50th appearance as manager for Celta. Mariez Currena was brought on in the final minutes for Mikel Oyarzabal as Real Sociedad tried to bring on some more firepower. And he had a chance, the young winger, in the final minutes here. His effort parried away by Guaita. Set up nicely by Barrenechea, but Zubimendi actually blocking along with Guaita the effort from the 20-year-old Real Sociedad winger. Mariez Currena would then play this good ball in towards the front post for Zubimendi, but La Real's number 4 could not help the target, the ball on target. Final change would see Hugo Sotelo come on for Fran Beltran for Celta. Some fresh legs in midfield. Real Sociedad running out of time, and again it was a shot from the edge of the box. This time Pablo Marin's effort deflected. The hosts expecting to get a corner, but they wouldn't get it as it actually came off Take Kubo. And that would be that at the Real Arena. A huge win for Celta. Final score, Real Sociedad 0, Celta 1.